All right, lesson 83, proportions. This is a really important lesson, okay? A proportion, let's understand what a proportion is. A proportion is when you have two ratios that are equal to each other, okay? So if I have 2/3, and that is equal to, let's say, 4/6, this is called a proportion, okay? It has a lot to do with reducing fractions and expanding fractions. Okay, I just expanded this out. My factor that I increased it by will be 2 times what number? Oh no, my red marker died. How sad. Okay, the middle step right here is basically times 2. What number times 2 is 4? 2 times 2. Well, if you multiply the top by 2, you got to multiply the bottom by 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Okay? So that would be an example of proportion. So, but that's two fractions that are equal to each other. But we're going to talk about two ratios. A little bit different. Same concept, but a little bit different. A ratio is a comparison of two numbers by division. So let's look at this right here, okay? Let's say there's 2 girls to every 3 boys. I'm comparing girls to boys. So these 2 girls have to put up with 3 boys, okay? So one thing about proportions is the numbers are related to real life situations. Now it could be bees. There are 2 bees for every 3 flowers. It could be 2 miles per gallon. That wouldn't be very good gas mileage if you only got 2 miles out of 1 gallon of gas. Okay? So anyway, so a ratio is a comparison of two numbers by division. Now let's talk about some of the properties of ratios. Okay, so we have right here, let's say 2 bees for every 3 flowers. Well, let's say there's 4 bees, that means there's going to be 6 flowers. Now you're going to hear me say this next phrase a lot, so it is important. If we were in class, I would have you guys make a little meme for the wall, okay? Cross products are equal. That means if I take whatever's on top right here, another one died. Oh my goodness, how sad. If I take whatever's here on top and multiply it by whatever here's on bottom, so in that case, it's going to be 2 times 6, that's one cross product. Okay? The other cross product is going to be 3 and 4. It even looks like a multiplication sign, x, right? So 3 times 4, cross products of proportions are always equal. 2 times 6 is 12, 3 times 4 is 12. Cross products are always equal if it is a proportion. All right, here's example number 1. The ratio of boys to girls is 3 to 4. There are 15 boys and 20 girls. Write a proportion, which is 2 ratios. Each ratio has 2 numbers. So 2 ratios of 2 numbers, so we're going to be writing a total of 4 numbers. Write a proportion with 2 equivalent ratios. So you're going to start out fraction bar equals fraction bar. Okay? The ratio of boys to girls is 3 to 4. Okay? So let's see if we did this right. I'm going to say something called the word ratio. It's a ratio made out of words. Okay? So up here we have boys to girls. That is the ratio made out of words. So we have boys to girls. This is the word ratio. Okay? Now here's a number ratio. What number is associated with boys? Well, the word boys comes first, so that goes on top. The number 3 comes first, so that also goes on top. See how these kind of correlate in like where they are in location, position, top, top. Now, the word girls comes second, and the number 4 comes second, so those two go on bottom. 3/4 is your number ratio. Now let's do the second one. It says 15 boys and 20 girls. So we know any number associated with boys, which in this case is 15, goes on top. 15 goes on top there. Now any number associated with girls, 20, goes on bottom. So that would be 20 right there. Let's see if this is proportional. Let's do cross products. Cross products are equal if it's a proportion. If it's a proportion, you can trust that cross products are equal. Okay? 3 times 20. Does that equal 4 times 15? Let's find out. 3 times 20, you guys know how to count by 20s. 20, 40, 60. And guess what? 4 times 15 is also 60. So if cross products are equal, which they are, then that is a proportion. Good job. All right, here's your practice problem. There are 5 flowers to every 9 weeds. There are 45 flowers and 81 weeds. Write a proportion. First step, before you pause it and do this problem by yourself, I want you guys to do the word ratio first. That's the ratio made out of words. So you do that right there. Then you do fraction bar equals fraction bar. Okay? So the word ratio is going to be flowers and weeds, weeds and flowers. You have to determine which one goes on top. All right, go ahead and pause it. All right, welcome back. There are 5 flowers to every 9 weeds. So the word flowers comes first. So that goes on top. The word weeds comes second. So that goes on bottom. Okay? So this is 5 flowers to every 9 weeds. Now, I know that the number associated with flowers goes on top. So what's the other number that's associated with flowers? I have 5 flowers goes on top. Oh, over here I have 45. Okay? And then I know I have 81 weeds. So the number associated, any number associated with weeds goes on bottom. Okay? So let's do cross products. Hopefully this, oh, that's the marker that's dead. Okay, 5 times 81. Okay, and 9 times 45. Let's see if those two numbers are equal. So do some scratch work. 81 times 5. 5 times 5. 405. And let's do 45 times 9. 9 times 5 is 45. 36. Plus 4 is going to be 40. So we have 405 equals 405. As you can see, cross products are equal. All right, so let's go ahead and do problem number 3. This is a little bit different. The ratio of 12 miles, the ratio is 12 miles for every 2 gallons. How many miles can you drive if you have 10 gallons? So start out with this. Fraction bar equals fraction bar. Always start out with that. And then over here, we're going to have a spot where we can put our word ratio. So we are comparing miles, how many miles you can get for how many gallons. Now this has to be like a big truck. So, because we're only getting 12 miles for 2 gallons of gas. Okay? So the word that comes first is miles. So that goes on top of your word ratio. The word that comes second is gallons. That goes on bottom. So any number that is associated with miles, or distance, okay, that number is going to go on the top. Any number associated with gallons is going to go on the bottom. So, what's the number that is associated with miles is 12. So that's going to go on top. Number that's associated with gallons is 2. Okay? 12 halves. So this is why ratios are a little bit different than fractions, because we're more thinking about the word ratio. Now some people say, that's improper, don't worry about improper, okay? This is a ratio. In ratios, you really don't worry about improper fractions as much, okay? How many miles can you drive if you have 10 gallons? Oh, I have another number here, 10. And it's talking about gallons. So the number 10 is associated with gallons, so the number 10 is going to go on the bottom. Now it says how many miles. That means we don't know how many miles. Okay, so this is an unknown. So I'm going to put M, a variable. Now, we are going to do something called, it's called solving a proportion. Okay? Basically, we know that this is proportional. We don't know what that number is. It's a variable. So we're going to use that concept that cross products are equal. So I'm going to take 12 times 10 and set that equal to 2 times m. So 12 times 10 is going to go right, actually let's do 2 times m, it's going to go right there. 2 times m. And that's going to be equal to 12 times 10. Okay, 12 times 10 is 120. That is going to be equal to 2m. Now we're going to do algebra. What side do I start on? Start on the side with the variable. What's opposite multiplying by 2? Dividing by 2. If I divide this side by 2, what do I divide this side by? By 2. 2's cancel out. All you have left is m equals 120 divided by 2. Well, 12 divided by 2 is 6. And add the 0. So the number of miles, if you have 10 gallons of gas in this huge truck that takes a lot of gas, you have 10 gallons of gas, you're only going to get 60 miles out of it. Okay? How do we know that? Because we solved our algebra. How do we find our algebra problem? Because we know that cross products are equal. Let's have you guys try one. Alright, so before you pause this and try this by yourself, first thing you always write down is fraction bar equals fraction bar, and then leave a spot for your word ratio. That's the ratio made out of words. Okay? Pause. Alright, welcome back. Our word ratio is going to be $40 for 10 gallons. So words are dollars and gallons. So I'm going to say, let's just put money sign and gallons. So anything that has to do with money is going to go on top. The first ratio is 40 to 10. So we're going to have $40 to 10 gallons. Okay? How much would that be for 15 gallons? So I want to know 15 gallons. 15 is associated with gallons, so the 15 is going to go on bottom. Because look at your word ratio. That's why it's very important for you guys to do the ratios made out of words. Because then you will know how to set up your proportion. And I want to know how much will it cost. So let's just say X. Cross products are equal. Here's a little trick. You can reduce this ratio. The zeros cancel out. So let's just erase the zeros. Now I'm going to do cross products. 4 times 15. And that's going to be equal 1 times X. 4 times 15 is going to be 60. And 1 times X. Divide both sides by 1. X is going to be equal to 60 divided by 1 is 60. So that is going to cost you $60 for 15 gallons of gas. Alright, last problem we're going to do, and this is number 15 on your homework. It says, which ratio is proportional with 3/5? Well, if it's proportional, that means cross products are equal. So let's set all these ratios equal to 3/5. And let's see which one has cross products that are equal. Okay, so let's do 3 times 5 and 10 times 3. Are those equal? 3 times 5 is 15. 10 times 3 is 30. Is that equal? No, no, no. Not proportional. Let's see if this one works. 6 times 5. Does that equal 3 times 15? Are the cross products equal? 6 times 5 is 30. 3 times 15 is going to be 45. No, no, no. Not proportional. Let's see if this one's proportional. 12 times 5, 20 times 3. Eventually you'll be able to just do stuff in your head. 12 times 5, and you won't have to write out this step right here. 12 times 5 is going to be 60. 20 times 3 is also going to be 60. So check. That is proportional. So your answer to number 15 is C. Alright, so that concludes today's lesson on proportions. This is a very important lesson. It actually connects to a lot of concepts we've talked all year. It connects to fractions, it connects to T-charts, it connects to even graphing. And you guys will see, you guys will understand that more in the future. But this is a very important lesson. Hopefully you're getting good at it.